You might, you may have heard some people say that artificial intelligence is kind of like this evolutionary technology, and we're on this evolutionary trajectory. And I think I've said that a few times on this channel. But sometimes that can sound kind of vague. It's not obvious what that actually means. And it's not very easy to really imagine what that might actually look like in an actual setting with a practical example. Today, I think we might have the first glimpse, the first hint of the very beginnings of what this could potentially look like as we start to venture down this path. Now, this is a product demonstration that I'm going to show you, and I'm also going to talk about many other products of this category of brain-computer interfaces. And what I really want to do is just kind of show the very beginnings of a technology that I am personally extremely excited for. I think this is going to be one of the most revolutionary technologies we ever have by far. Humanoid robots are going to be amazing. AI in general is amazing. Nuclear fusion, great. Quantum computing, fantastic. As this technology of brain-computer interfaces becomes more developed and it starts to reach a point of maturity, you can't really put it into words the impact this will have for each and every single one of us who decides to adopt it. One could say that you do kind of start to become this new species, as we already have. Like, if you try to compare us to humans 100 years ago, we are quite different, if you haven't noticed. We don't even really notice it ourselves. That's the kind of the paradox, right? I just said if you haven't noticed, but we don't really notice. The only way we could really tell is if we took somebody from 200 years ago and put them where we are today. They would feel like they're in an alien planet. And if we take us from today and put ourselves in 2035, I think it might feel somewhat similar, which that's kind of the interesting part of where we are right now, is the time horizons are very compressed. So that being said, let's actually jump into the video, jump into some of the actual products and in some demonstrations. So the first thing I want to talk about is this company called Alter Ego. They just kind of released their product demonstration, like, I don't know, yesterday. And I was like, whenever I first watched it, I was like taken aback a little bit. And then I was kind of skeptical. And I was like, okay, it can't actually be this good. It can't actually be like this good. What is it actually doing here? Is it actually like reading the brain signals, or is it doing something else? And I found some more information. So before I play the demonstration, Alter Ego has a motionless intent. Basically, it uses electrodes to capture these vibrations and electrical impulses that you put out whenever you're about to say something. So you know how you can like either whisper to yourself without actually saying anything, like you can move your mouth and it's like you're about to say something but you don't actually. They capture a bunch of data. Basically, they have an app. You speak into the app, and they make you say a bunch of different things, kind of like 11 Labs. Whenever you're recording your voice, you say a bunch of different things. But with this, you wear the actual device. You're wearing the device, and as you're saying the things, it's picking up your voice. It's getting what you're saying. It's actually feeling your muscles contracting, and it's actually having electrical signals around the musculature areas and also within parts of your near your brain and nervous system. And it can decode this into natural language. And also, we're going to get into what Meta is working on. They're working on something very similar to this, where the actual device can decode your, I wouldn't say thoughts, but your whatever signals and vibrations you're putting out here, decode that into natural language, which can be used to prompt an LLM. So now that you kind of get the picture, I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and then we'll get to the next product.
Alter Ego gives you the power of telepathy, but only for the thoughts you want to share. With Alter Ego, you talk just like you normally would. but without making a sound. Let me show you how it works. We all have moments when inspiration strikes and you want to save an idea before it slips away. You can now capture those instantly without lifting a finger. For example, just gonna see if that synced. Oh yeah, awesome. Alter Ego has tiny cameras built in and can make sense of the world around me from my perspective. Here, I have a postcard. And when I find something interesting, I can point to specific parts and ask questions about what I'm seeing.
That's Europa, who represents Europe shaking hands with America to celebrate the first transatlantic telegraph cable.
That's cool.
Okay, reminder is added to your notes app.
Awesome. You can get so much done with Alter Ego, but I want to talk about how it changes communication. This is where it gets really interesting. Alter Ego works with your other devices, but it also works with other people wearing an Alter Ego. It feels almost telepathic.
Where do you want to get lunch after this?
Thai food could be good.
It doesn't matter where Arnav and I are. It could be a noisy environment or a quiet office. Having a direct conversation is possible without saying a word. The signals Alter Ego detects aren't affected by environmental noise. So even if you're walking past a wind tunnel or a construction zone, what you want to say will always get across. It's like having infinite noise cancellation.
If you're traveling, your silent speech can be converted into any language. So Scott, how's my Mandarin?
如果我来上海的话，希望你能带我转转。
मुझे आपको शंघाई दिखाने में खुशी होगी। मैं ऑल्टर ईगो की मदद से आपको हिंदी में एक यात्रा सुझाव दूंगा।
For all of human history, we've built tools to extend our abilities. But we never perfected the tool and the interface to extend the human mind. Alter Ego gives us that, a way to communicate at the speed of thought. We believe this is the beginning of that future, where technology is no longer an external box we carry, but a natural extension of who we are. Thank you for being here with us today at the beginning of that future. You can visit us at alterego.io to sign up for early access.
Again, this is one of those moments where if you really pay attention and you really play out, like, what are the implications of this given the technology that we're building? When AI is really, really powerful. Let's play out AI for 3 years with this device. You know how whenever you're a kid in school and you're like, oh, I just wish I could install the information I need to know instead of me having to learn, instead of me having to go to the library and read all these books, instead of me having to do all these things, I just install the packages and I know how to do it. That's kind of what's happening, especially as we get into more of the products that we're about to witness here. Once you get to like the augmented reality glasses with the technology like this, and the AI can see what you're seeing and point to things on the screen and kind of like give you animations on how to connect things and do certain engineering tasks or what have you. It's literally that. It's kind of like Neo in the Matrix, but you don't actually have to upload or you don't actually have to plug in. You're just kind of like wearing this non-invasive brain-computer interface and some AR glasses. That's going to take you a very long way, but it might not take you like to the different species per se, which that's completely fine. You don't have to become a different species. It's kind of scary whenever you think about it, but at the same time, it sounds kind of cool. Yeah, this stuff is happening already. It's 2025. Let me remind you, Ray Kurzweil predicted this in 2032, so it seems like we're on track. Let's get to the next product here. So obviously Sam Altman is trying to compete with Neuralink and Elon. He has Merge Labs, which was founded with him and Alex Blania. Alex Blania is the CEO of, WorldCoin as well. So it looks like they're gonna have a little AI and AI technology empire. Pretty cool. So basically what they have is like a gene therapy, and they have the actual device itself. And the gene therapy is supposed to like sensitize your neurons, kind of like bring back some of that brain plasticity, which sounds pretty cool. It sounds pretty good. I think that's going to be pretty needed, especially for the older people who want to adopt this technology. I was at first a little bit concerned that that might be a little bit of a challenge for people who do have like pretty calcified brains. As people get older, that's kind of what happens. But if they can actually get this gene therapy to work, it can make the merge a little bit smoother, I guess you could say. I'm kind of curious to see how this device is going to look. I think we might see a showcase by like 2028 maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm very excited, to say the least. It's supposed to be non-invasive. That's kind of the route I'm more like okay with for now. Once as I like try the non-invasive stuff, and then maybe the invasive stuff will get better, and you won't have to like drill a hole in my skull. I would prefer not to have to do that. I do think we'll get there, but yeah, Merge Labs, Alex Blania, very smart guy. He's a very brilliant person. Obviously, Sam's pretty smart as well. He mainly has the capital for this though, and I don't know. There's not a lot of information on this product. I'm just excited to see it. And then, of course, we have the Master Zuck with the augmented reality glasses with the ability to have, similar to the first product demonstration from Alter Ego, where it kind of like captures some of the muscle movements and the signals that you're putting off, and it tokenizes that or converts it into natural language, and it can use that to prompt the LLM. Now, obviously, with this example, you also have the augmented reality on top of that, which is pretty surreal. I think Zuck actually said that they're going to be releasing the first product 2028, but I don't know if that one's going to have the BCI capabilities. It's going to have the wrist capabilities. I don't think it'll quite have the brain-computer interface capabilities. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure. But I do know it'll have the neural input through the wrist, so you can like do things with your fingers and control the actual glasses, which will be really cool as well. But I really want to see, I just put them on. Maybe I have a wrist thing, maybe I don't. But the big thing is I am like thinking with my internal monologue, and I can like communicate with people, and I can have like my hologram homies hanging out with me. And if I am like doing something with an engineering project and I don't exactly know how to do it because I'm like haven't done it before, I can have my AI as a co-pilot like pointing out things to me within the holographic display, and kind of like saying, oh, here's an animation of how you need to plug these things together or do this or that. And then at that point you can have like the AI that is in your glasses, on your computer, in your robot, and it's writing code, you're building the hardware, it's aiding you throughout the entire process, one model of all the continuous memory. Very, very good product, as you could tell. It'll be very transformative for society, and it's going to be really cool. I'm excited for it. And I think that's coming faster than people think, way faster than people think. There is an interview of Vinod Khosla and Sam Altman recently, and Vinod Khosla asks Sam Altman, what are you missing for ChatGPT to become an operating system? Because that's what you're trying to build, right? You want ChatGPT to be an operating system. And Sam was like, well, yeah, we want it to be an operating system, and we're missing almost everything. And then Vinod was like, okay, well, what are you missing? He says, everything. And then he didn't spill the beans because he doesn't want to give the product roadmap. But expect a lot of updates. He says he wants it to be an operating system. He said, okay, well, what does it need to be an operating system? And then everything is needed. It's not even, it's literally just like a large language model. So Yeah, if he wants it to be an operating system, and right now it's missing everything, expect updates. That's all I can say. Next is Neuralink. I think we all kind of understand the point with this one. Elon has a very big vision for it. He's kind of playing the very long game. He is actually, this approach is kind of scary, but for playing the long game, it's the smartest approach because you're getting access to data that nobody else has access to. By having these electrodes literally going into the actual brain and going deeper and deeper and deeper, you can access data that nobody else has access to. And it's a massive moat that he has, which is insane. And eventually, as the technology advances, I think it'll be not this thing that you're like drilling a hole in somebody's head for. It's going to be something maybe we do the Ray Kurzweil thing where you take a pill and the nanobots go in there and create a little BCI or whatever. I'm not exactly sure. but yeah, I don't think it's its final form, obviously. I think there's going to be a lot of progress, though. And I do think it's going to be the one that affects the most because obviously it's in there. It's really in there. And it can do a lot of different things, like actually injecting things into you or getting more depth into your other sensory mechanisms and being able to augment those. That's like becoming a cyborg right there. So yeah, I think we kind of get that one. And then next is Max Hodak. Max Hodak has Science, which is a BCI company. He was actually a co-founder of Neuralink, and basically, he wants to get actual neurons and implant them with the device and allow those to go in and create synaptic connections with your actual brain. So he gets this organic matter integrating with your organic matter, right? So again, there is a device that is hosting that organic matter that is integrating with your organic matter, but the actual merge isn't these electrode wires stabbing into your brain. It's a organic matter. it's exogenous, but it's bioidentical, I guess you could say. So that being said, I think this is the last slide. Yeah, the merge is slowly happening. So again, we're at the very beginning. It's 2025. This is very early, but this is one of the things that I'm most excited for. As you saw with the first demonstration, even if you don't want to go like full, like in the brain, the devices and the interface that they provide are going to be pretty phenomenal. Just like imagine your iPhone and the interface that is, and the capabilities that grants you. Now imagine having the interface of the first demonstration, and you can orchestrate a bunch of robots. You can orchestrate all of these different things, and you're now basically you have your humanoid robot, which is basically an intelligent iPhone with legs. Like that's what a humanoid robot is. It can take videos, it can take pictures, it can do work. It's actually smart. Yeah, it can check the weather for you, it can text your friends, it can call somebody for you probably. It'll do everything that your phone can do, but it can actually do things as well. That's what a humanoid robot is. Now you're going to have these brain-computer interfaces that interface with these things in the physical world, and you can do like so much labor. It's actually insane to think about. Yeah, wow. That's insane. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. And I'm excited. This stuff is the important stuff. This is the stuff that we really need to be paying attention to. I know certain people are like, oh, GPT-5 isn't as good as I thought it would be. We're so early, dude. Watch my past video that I just made, 300 million GPUs by 2030. Currently, we only have like a couple million at most. And the models are being trained on like 100,000 GPUs to 200,000 GPUs. The biggest model on Earth right now is, I think, 200,000 GPUs to 250,000 GPUs. And the next one that's going to be coming out soon is going to be like an order of magnitude more. It's going to be like 10x more. It's going to be insane. So hold your horses, man. It's 2025. Once we get to 2030, that's when you can start freaking out. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Jokes aside, though, I do have a community, and I think you guys might actually enjoy it. It's basically a bunch of people just like you and me who are super curious, but also super determined to make sure that we actually benefit from this technology. It's not actually clear that this will be distributed evenly. The future is already here, and it's definitely not distributed evenly. So in the community, basically our goal is to make sure that we are positioning ourselves for the future so that we can ensure that we all have access to the best technologies in the future, the most powerful technologies. Make sure we get things like this. Make sure we get things like biotechnologies to help us extend our lifespans. And I think the best way to do that is to have access to a group of people who are all looking at these things. Engineers, entrepreneurs, investors, a whole bunch of people who are high value and actually working in these spaces, working on these things, and trying to get their hands on these things. If you're in proximity with those people, the likelihood of you getting these things is a whole lot higher. That being said, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Join the community. I will see you guys in the future. Damn.